Kalima and good morning. I just want to make one correction to what was just said. I am not the Chief Executive Officer of SHIPPINGInsight. I am the Chief Evolution Officer of SHIPPINGInsight, which is a fleet optimization and innovation event which happens in Stamford, Connecticut in October. And what we're all about is really helping the industry propel towards change. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is the concept of convergence and how the silos which exist in our industry need to come crumbling down in the face of the change that both Apostolos and my friend Andreas Chrysostomou spoke about, and as evidenced by what we just heard. We are, as an industry, in a transformation phase. We are going from the current state to the future state. Now, we know where we are today, but we don't know where we're going to be tomorrow. And that creates some anxiety because change is uncomfortable. It's just inherently uncomfortable. We're comfortable with the known. It's the unknown that challenges us, and challenges us emotionally and physically and professionally. But according to Ben Franklin, and we all know Ben Franklin, change is the only constant in life. And one's ability to adapt to those changes will determine your success in life. And I propose the success of your enterprise. But so often we find ourselves in the 5 stages of grief. There's denial, there's anger, there's bargaining, there's depression, and acceptance. And I'm going to ask all of you, as you look at the disruption and the changes that are going on in our industry today, where do you fall in the stages of grief? Are you in denial, or have you reached acceptance and you're moving forward into your future? Just know one thing: change is inevitable, but progress is optional. Or there's always the ostrich strategy. I don't know how well that works for folks, but can always give that a try. Shipping connects the globe. We all know that. But shipping isn't connected. And we have risks today that we're facing if we don't address change. If we stay with the status quo, we are at risk. We're at risk of inefficiency. We're at risk of incurring higher costs. We are vulnerable as an industry. It results in poor communications. We're not utilizing all of the opportunities we have today. And it also results in a lack of positive image. Andreas showed us demonstrably the power of society. We exist at the will of society. And we have to take a look at what society thinks of us. So, inefficiency extracts its price. Fleet and port efficiency translates into cost savings. And are you willing to walk away from the opportunity to save money? You invest a little, you gain a lot. Digitalization is an opportunity for us to become more efficient as an industry. Let's stay open to that. Are you willing to risk incurring higher costs and miss market opportunities? We just had an example of blockchain, and I'm a big proponent of blockchain because I see the efficiency in it and the opportunity to save money. But we have to understand it and embrace it. As an industry, we are also vulnerable. We heard from Jack Ma earlier the founder of Alibaba. We all know Amazon. And I challenge anybody here to say they don't use Amazon. Really? Amazon and Alibaba are both entering our industry in the logistics part of it. They demand efficiency. And if we as an industry can't meet their demands, they're going to come in and do it themselves. Centuries of experience in shipping. We have an opportunity not to defend, but to be better. Our second area of vulnerability is cybersecurity. And again, you have an opportunity to take the ostrich approach. In fact, I was speaking with somebody yesterday, and he said, he was a ship owner, said he wasn't concerned about cybersecurity because it hadn't affected shipping yet. It's not a question of if. It's a question of when. I mean, the IMO is going to be requiring you to have a cybersecurity plan by 2021. But why wait? The incidence of cyber attacks, cyber invasion, are happening every single day. Why wait? Take action now. And then we get to the issue of silos. And I would submit it creates a poor level of communication. Ships don't talk to ports, don't talk to trains, don't talk to trucks. We have what we call an intermodal chain. I remember that phrase coming in the 90s. But yet there exists gaps between ships and ports. And we also have huge gaps in our industry. We're segmented. When I talk about shipping writ large, I'm told, oh no, container ships, no. Or cruise ships, they're different. Dry bulk, that's different. Wet, that's different. We are one shipping industry. We have the opportunity to leverage the size of our industry, the breadth of our industry, and the strength of our industry. So let's get rid of the silos. And let's start to integrate as an industry. Because the way we are now, we have no opportunity right now. And it's been tried, and believe me, I'm trying it every day. That's part of my ethos, is the image of shipping. Because right now we think we are a noble industry carrying 90% of the world's goods and energy. But if the public is thinking about us, they think of oil in the water and dead birds. But if we're not connected as an industry, we can't be effective to change that. So what's the solution? Action changes things. We need to act. For one, we have the opportunity to incorporate the benefits of digitalization and automation for greater efficiency. Efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. Efficiency of time creates efficiency of economies. We have an opportunity to benefit through digitalization and automation. We need to embrace blockchain in order to increase competitiveness. We need to streamline our operations so that we can be more efficient. Blockchain affords us the opportunity to be more efficient and secure and immutable. And it builds trust. That's that 5-letter word. We need to eliminate our vulnerabilities by doing the best job we can. And we can do that. We need to create convergence within companies. Years ago, I talked to a fellow who runs a ship finance conference and publication, dear friend of mine. And I said, Jim, you have to start looking, ship finance has to start looking at the regulatory framework. They have to start looking at the impact of regulations. Oh, no, Carleen. Ship finance doesn't care about that. Well, yes, they do, because now they recognize the bottom line implications of the regulatory framework and its impacts. And oh, by the way, now bankers are lending in order to incorporate mitigation of environmental impacts. MSC just got $486 million to install scrubbers from Société Générale. Ship Finance is now paying attention to regulatory framework. But we have to create that convergence within our companies. The CEO now has to understand not just the finance, but the operations. The operations people have to understand the finance. We all have to understand what role each of us play and how we can integrate those roles. We have to break down those silos. So the convergence has to happen with companies, but also with sectors. Shipping needs to better understand what the challenges ports are facing, and ports need to understand the challenges shipping is facing. I ran an event for NMEPA in San Francisco a few years ago, and we had the head of the environmental department for the Port of Oakland there. And we were talking about MARPOLs. He didn't understand that the industry was regulated. He didn't understand we had MARPOL regulations. And this is the head of the environment for the Port of Oakland. We have to understand that the ports are under constant attack, as shown by Andreas's slide, by their communities. They have to demonstrate good citizenship to their communities. At the same time, I was at the Port of LA 3 weeks ago, and the head of the port told me that they held a community meeting, and one of the community members stood up and said, "Why do we need ships? I get everything I need at Walmart." That's the public perception. Collectively, we can work together to build the public's appreciation for us. These are just the organizations that I'm involved with in doing that. IMO, NMEPA, the Consortium for International Maritime Heritage, SHIPPINGInsight, to build shipping's profile in the public and help them understand the value proposition of shipping. Silos blocking our growth will crumble, and then growth and prosperity will ensue. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I've got 4 seconds.